You're watching So Jazzy Indie Channel.
Grab some fire water from the local liquor store to tear myself apart. It's almost like a riot I would be. Need some things to encourage me. Why is there no confidence to find?
The story of Derek, Gregg, and Sean Hope.
Here I'm local. My whole life, just kind of average life. Just growing up. My parents actually divorced, but just I actually came to music very late in my life. So I wasn't very musical growing up.
I grew up in Southern Oregon in a really rural little farm town. My grandma owned a 50-acre ranch. My mom divorced my dad when I was like 3 years old and moved down there. My dad's actually been involved in the music industry for 25, 30 years. So I looked up to that my whole life. I knew in middle school what I wanted to do. Even before I picked up a guitar. I've always known what my calling was. I can remember far back when we did the career day thing in middle school in 8th grade. What do I want to be when I grow up? And I chose musician. But really, I didn't start playing until I was 15, and I didn't start writing until I was 17. So I'm about 8 or 9 years in right now.
3 years ago, around this time, about 3 years ago, that I really started playing drums. I started really falling in love again with music, and then I just hit the ground running from then, and I've been at it ever since. Well, it's funny. I mean, every kid. Video games. So, I loved video games growing up. I actually wanted to be a video game tester.
Nothing.
Why the hell can you not shed a tear? The bottle's in my hand, take yourself here.
The story of Derek, Gregg, and Sean Hope.
I would feel guilty if I didn't play my guitar 5 or 6 hours a day. I would critique the crap out of myself. Everything I wrote was crap. Everything I wrote was crap in my eyes. So just every year it's just been about evolving and shedding my skin. I honestly feel the only reason I'm alive is to play and write music. I have devoted myself like some kind of priest to God. I want to leave something behind. I really feel like it's the only thing I can do, and it would be a crime for me not to write music, not to leave something behind. It would be criminal.
7 years of orchestra, concert band, marching band, and then, like I said, I went away at college, work, just hanging out, kind of just growing up a little bit, and then just decided, I'm going to take a music class. Why not? I love doing that. And I took a music class, and I couldn't stop. So then I was doing drum set, doing jazz band, and then going down to the Palm Canyon Roadhouse out in downtown Palm Springs, and I would play. I would go in there. They have an open jam Sunday nights. I'd get in there. They'd let me up every single time, but halfway through the song, I wasn't cutting it, and they would stop the song and they'd kick me off the stage. And there's, some people would discourage me. You should quit. You should just go do something else. You suck at this. But other people would be like, just keep coming back. Keep practicing. And so that's what I did. I kept coming back every single week and just like honing my skill. And then I actually started going to other jams. I went down to the Village Pub and they had a Sunday jam. There I met the house drummer there, and he started giving me lessons. He was like, you need some lessons to fine tune that. You've got some talent. So I started doing that. Started taking lessons. I did lessons with him for a year, and then I started taking lessons with other people sporadically, trying to get as much knowledge from as many people as possible, kind of just hopefully certain different things from different people will stick. And so I just did that. I went out to LA. I did some lessons with Bruce Becker, who's he's a student of Freddie Gruber. And so I've just been doing that. I was playing around a little bit. I had a jazz band for a while, and I'm doing big band jazz. I toured California with that. And then I met these guys, and they're...
The story of Derek, Gregg, and Sean Holt.
That's come close to anything, but I'm a songwriter primarily. Most people come out here and they hear me doing the cover singing all their favorite freaking Sublime songs or whatever, which is totally cool. I dig getting the vibe going. I dig getting everyone in a great mood. People love to hear the songs they can sing. But being in that, and when I'm doing my my original stuff, from what I'm told, I have a fantastic voice. So you get people coming out of the woodworks. Oh man, I'm gonna get you signed this week. Like, oh, we're gonna do wonders for you. But now it's just like, yeah, okay, man. Show me the money. I'm trying to freaking afford my other talent.
Well, I've never really come close, but I've played in a couple bands where we played at the Date Festival, do like a Battle of the Bands there, do a couple of Battle of the Bands around town. One time I actually did go out with an original band, and we played out at this place called the Federal Bar in Hollywood, and it was like a showcase, and there were some record labels there, and I guess we were all competing, kind of see if they liked anybody. We didn't get picked, but it's probably the closest I've been.
That's something.
It's kind of cool. I was playing the rock. I love the rock, but when I started taking lessons, my teacher was like, hey, do you want to start learning jazz? And I was like, yeah, why not? And so we started working on that, and I just fell in love with it. It's the intricacies and stuff of it. There's nothing like it, and I was doing that forever, and I think it's helped so much. It's made me think of playing in a different way. So me and Derek can go sit down and play something, and I'll play something just totally off the wall that not somebody who's would normally play. I play something totally different, and Derek loves that. He's like, that's what kind of our
metal gave me these deep lyrics that are really, really sad and like can touch you. But after that, I started getting really into like a weird Latin samba thing, which has given me some of my guitar chops that provide my ability to ride between a guitar and a bass line, which is a part of my style. I'm mostly finger style. Then I learned the blues because my dad told me he can't teach me anything until I learn the blues.
I can't help but ask myself how much I'll have to fear. Take the wheel and steer. It's given me before.
The story of Derek, Gregg, and Sean Holt.
Most recently, folk. Folk has really inspired me. Because it's such a mix of tradition and breaking out of what's going on. Bob Dylan totally saved the 50s. In the 50s it was all this country and this huge pop stuff. And that's what there's a line in a Counting Crows song where he says, I want to be Bob Dylan, I understand what he's saying there, because Bob Dylan saved the 60s
get all this-
from the 50s. And it's all the same, and I want to talk about what's going on. I want to be the breath of fresh air, you know, like, so I would say that the type of music that's inspiring me in this state of mind, until I shed my skin and totally flip-flop. Right now, what we are is like a folk, jazz,
Playing with
pop
Derek,
thing.
he's just, I mean, opens my eyes. You know, I've played jazz bands, I played in a rockabilly band, pop, like, I played all that stuff, like rock bands, and really, what's inspiring me at the time is who I'm playing with. It kind of, it is 100% molding how I play and where I'm going.
Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins is an amazing lyricist. Brandon Boyd from Incubus as a vocalist, definitely. Kurt Cobain, just for his lack of a band, you know, just his total. He does no concern,
Rawness.
no concern for what's really going on, but still able to make it with his rawness, with his truth. Bob Dylan is a folk singer, and his ability to save the time that he comes from. That about wraps it up, man. Sinatra, because he's just cool. He's freaking cool. I want to be cool, you know. I can't be cool. I cannot. Anything I write just seems like some sappy Dave Matthews Band song. But I want to be cooler than that, you know.
The story of Derek, Gregg, and Sean Hope.
Everybody overlooks all your stuff constantly. That's one thing you have to get used to in the music world, is no matter what you do, there's always somebody who's just like, oh, why aren't you doing that? Why isn't that person you doing that? You know, you're never quite at that level, and you know, it is a little discouraging, but what you gotta pull from that is that you gotta get through it. There's just feeling sorry for yourself, thinking that you're not going anywhere, that's how you don't go anywhere. That's like really what you gotta do, is you gotta make this your motivator. Like, I'm gonna prove all those people wrong. You know, they say I was no good or whatever, but wait till they see me in a year and I'm gonna be amazing and I'm gonna be famous and blow their mind. So yeah, there's always discouraging people, but you always gotta push through it.
You know, we play in a cover band half the freaking time, where they'd rather hear Brown Eyed Girl than something that we've actually created. And I honestly feel like the stuff that we've come up with is good enough to where we could develop a massive fan base. And I know that it's like that. It's just hard to get anyone to freaking take their eyes off their phone for 5 minutes to give you a little bit of attention for something that you've created. So, you know, we do something that 1% of the entire freaking planet can do. You know, I don't mean to sound cocky, but this isn't for everyone. It's a gift. And the fact that we have to come in here and play Margaritaville 5 nights a week just to pay the bills so we can get to our gift, yeah, of course it's discouraging. If you sit there and bitch about it and drown yourself in alcohol or whatever, you're never going to get anywhere. So you look at that and you just smile at it, you laugh at it, you look at what you're doing and you see, well, yeah, sure, these people don't know what they're looking at. They're never going to know what they're looking at. But that's why in every set we throw in 2 originals at least, to try to, you know, eventually, instead of them going, hey, can we hear that freaking Jethro Tull song? Eventually they go, hey, what was that one song you guys did? Oh, that was original. Can you play it? I got it stuck in my head for weeks. You know, this isn't the end of the line. This is Palm Springs, you know, and you know, sure, it's discouraging, but life's discouraging. You just got to push on, and that's how you build character.
The story of Derek, Gregg, and Sean Hope.
Music's the one girl that will never ask me if I've been hanging out with other chicks. Music's the one thing that will always be there for me. I'll be 90 years old in a rocking chair, and I'll be freaking strumming that guitar, you know, God forbid my hands don't freaking blow off.
But then you'll have robot hands.
Yeah, and I'll be playing better. Music is my one true love, and I would never take
Like,
its
obviously,
name.
I'd love to have that pot of gold, but, you know, writing stuff that's, like, unique and that's real, that's, I mean, we're always talking about this. We play the cover music, but we always try to throw those originals in there. We never compromise that. If we ever get a chance to play an original gig over playing a cover gig, pass it up every single time just for that, to play that real music, to really, to not sell out. Like, obviously, everybody kind of sells out a little bit, but, you know, we're trying our hardest just to stay true.
I don't see us ever putting in a freaking like dubstep breakdown just to make the song sell. You know, maybe we'd partner up with a producer or something and say, hey, see what you can do this or whatever. You know, just for his sake of the art. But our album's always gonna be our album. It's gonna be cohesive, and we're gonna do what we want to do. You know, we're not gonna auto-tune the shit. We're not gonna freaking have Katy Perry sit on it. You know, it's I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. It's not worth it.
The story of Derek Gregg and Sean Hope.
You know, in middle school, or even before that, actually, I was attracted to the drums because we were so broke. Growing up in the trailer park, I used to just beat on pots and pans with freaking with spoons. But you know, in middle school there was band. That's what I got into. I was doing saxophone and stuff like that. And I had a guitar when I was at age 13, but as such a lazy kid, it took me 2 years to actually start to play it. But by age 15, I decided like I
My
have
parents
to do
absolutely
this.
supported me 100% of the way. They bought me a drum set, even though I never played it growing up. Like, I was just orchestra and marching band. But then I actually started doing drum set, and they totally were supportive all the time. Just helped me out. They're like, you know, don't bother going and getting. Like, I'll be working, but they'll help me financially or whatever, so I can actually focus on playing the drums instead of working.
I feel like my
40
mom
hours a
just
week.
got reminded of my dad whenever I'd pick up a guitar and I would sing, you know, so I feel like she really would always discourage me. Well, Derek, you always got to have something to fall back on. But my dad, you know, he would say, you're never going to make as much money as you're going to make playing music. So my dad respects me as a musician, being as competent as he is and a huge name around here. He's always respected me.
Success is, to me, it's kind of what I do already. It's, you know, it's playing music, making a living, being able to survive and be able to do something I love. Playing our original stuff. If we could do that all the time and make enough money to survive.
What we're doing right now, to me, here, washing dishes. That's fine. That's cool. You do what you got to do. Success to me, 5,000 to 10 million fans. Loving our music, singing the words, appreciating it. Even if we don't have $1 million in the bank, just having that many people depend on, that know they respect our art, that to me is successful, that to me is the dream. I don't need to be the next face on American whatever. I need a fan base.
The story of Derek Gregg and Sean Hope.
I learned classical local like orchestra percussion. Growing up, and then I went away from music for a while, but I just ended up coming back to it. I was trying to find out what I was good at, what I love to do, and I just started playing drum set, and I've only been playing drum set now for 3 years. And I just started going to the local jams around here, and then getting kicked off stage actually for not being able to play very well, and then coming back every week and trying to get better and better, and that's actually how I fell into playing drum set.
Obviously, he's really opened up.
The story of Derek, Gregg, and Sean Howard.
We're working on an album called Paradise. It's going to be a 7-song EP. We're producing it in Heil Studios right now. I'm doing a lot of the bass and guitar tracks, harmony tracks like that. He's working on everything percussion in it, so it's just 2 of us working on that stuff. Hive Mind's Paradise, scheduled for anytime in the next 3
Probably
4
holiday,
months.
maybe early next year.
Holiday 2013. Yeah.
Trying to get that out there. You can find us online at facebook.com/hivemind or the Hive Mind, something like that. You know, we don't have it yet, but it'll be up there very shortly.
We're a fresh project. We're working on a SoundCloud right now.
SoundCloud,
Hive Minds.
the Hive Minds. Just remember the Hive Minds to look for. It's the Hive Minds.
Derek, Jordan, Gregg.
And I'm Sean Poe, and we just told our story.